Before the next sunrise, everything around you is going to change. I know you feel tired, broken, and ready to give up, but heaven is already moving in your favor right now. This is not just another message appearing before your eyes by accident. I arranged this moment long before you arrived here. I saw the pain you carried into this night. I saw the thoughts racing through your mind when nobody else understood what was happening inside you. I watched you trying to stay strong while your spirit quietly cried out for relief. My child, listen carefully to me now, because what I am about to tell you will shift something deep within your soul. Do not leave this message unfinished, because within the next 24 hours you are going to witness a sign you prayed for in secret. The very thing you thought was delayed forever has already started moving toward you. Your miracle is not far away. It is already breathing. It is already alive. Even now, while you sit there wondering if things will ever change, I am already standing at your door with the answer in my hands. Tonight is different from every other night you survived before this one. The pain that followed you for months is about to lose its power over your life. I know how exhausted you are. I know there were moments when you smiled in front of others while secretly breaking inside. I know you asked yourself how much longer you could keep holding on. There were nights when your pillow carried tears nobody saw. There were mornings when you woke up tired before the day even began. There were prayers you whispered so softly because part of you feared nothing would ever change. But my child, I never ignored a single tear. I never turned away from your cries. Even when heaven seemed silent, I was already working behind every closed door you could not understand. What you called delay was actually preparation. What you thought was abandonment was protection. And what felt like the end was only the beginning of something greater than you imagined. You were chosen to hear this at the exact right moment because the enemy truly believed you would break before morning arrived. Darkness watched you struggle. Fear tried to convince you to stop praying. Hopelessness whispered that your story would never change. But the enemy does not decide your future. I do. Morning belongs to me, and I am placing a miracle inside your tomorrow. I am speaking directly into the deepest part of your heart right now because you have carried this burden long enough. You were never meant to walk through life feeling forgotten, abandoned, and defeated. I created you for victory, not destruction. I formed you with purpose before you ever took your first breath. And even now, while you feel weak, I am pouring strength back into your spirit. Do not skip this message, because what I am revealing tonight is preparing your heart for the sudden blessing already rushing toward your life. I am sealing something over you right now. Doors are opening while you sleep. Battles are ending while you pray. Chains are breaking even while you wonder if anything is changing. There are things happening in the spiritual realm you cannot yet see with human eyes. Angels are moving on your behalf. Situations are shifting. Conversations are being arranged. Delayed answers are beginning to move again. And while you feel like you are waiting on me, heaven is actually waiting on the perfect moment to release what has already been prepared for you. My child, you keep asking me for a sign. You begged me for confirmation. You cried out asking if I still remembered your name. This is the sign you asked for. This message is not random. I placed it before you because your waiting season is ending. The next 24 hours carry more spiritual movement than you realize. Something that looked impossible is beginning to turn around. Something dead is beginning to breathe again. Something delayed is beginning to move. I know you almost stopped believing. I know disappointment made your heart tired. I know repeated pain made you question whether miracles were even meant for someone like you. But I need you to hear me now. Your greatest miracle is closer than your next breath. You are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are not fighting this battle alone. I've been standing beside you through every sleepless night, every silent breakdown, every moment when your strength nearly disappeared. When people walked away from you, I stayed. When doors closed in your face, I remained beside you. When your own mind became filled with fear and confusion, I continued holding your future together with my hands. There were moments you thought you would completely fall apart, but somehow you survived. You know why? Because I refused to let go of you even when you were struggling to hold on to me. I know the pressure you have been under. I know the emotional exhaustion you tried to hide. I know the financial stress, the fear about tomorrow, the silent anxiety that kept attacking your thoughts late at night. I know the heartbreak you never fully healed from. I know the betrayal that changed the way you trust people. I know the loneliness that followed you into crowded rooms. I know the disappointment of praying for something over and over while seeing no visible answer. But listen carefully, my child. None of your suffering was wasted. Every painful season carried purpose. Every delay built strength inside you. Every tear watered the ground where your future breakthrough is now beginning to grow. Right even now, my praise rises if your worship hasn't stopped in waiting. The reason this season hurt so deeply is because your breakthrough is massive. The enemy that attacks hardest when destiny is close. Darkness tried to wear you down before your miracle arrived. Fear tried to make you quit one chapter before everything changed. But I did not bring you this far just to abandon you now. I did not carry you through every storm just to leave you standing empty-handed. Hold on one more night. That is all I ask from you. One more night of trusting me. One more night of refusing to surrender to fear. One more night before the sunrise changes everything around you. I need you to stop speaking death over your future. Stop believing the lie that nothing good can happen for you anymore. Stop replaying failure inside your mind. You have spent too much time expecting disappointment because pain became familiar to you. But I am about to break that cycle. I am about to remind you what it feels like to breathe without fear constantly sitting on your chest. I am about to restore hope to places inside you that became numb from waiting. I am about to reveal that I was never absent from your story. Even in silence, I was moving pieces into place that you could not yet understand. My child, I know you are exhausted. I know your heart is tired. I know there were moments recently when you almost gave up completely. But if only you could see what heaven sees right now, you would understand why I kept telling you to hold on. You are standing closer to your breakthrough than you realize. What is coming toward you will not only change your circumstances, it will restore your faith. You are about to witness proof that I still move mountains. You are about to experience peace that does not make sense to the human mind. You are about to see me step into situations you thought were permanently broken. Tonight, while others sleep without expectation, I am watching over you with intention. I am sealing promises over your life. I am breaking spiritual chains that followed your family for years. I am silencing voices that tried to convince you that you would never rise again. I am healing wounds nobody else knew existed. I am restoring strength to the areas where life drained you dry. And I am preparing a morning that will not look like your past. So do not let go now. You not walk away now. You not quit now. You survived too much to stop here. You cried too many tears to quit before the miracle arrives. You prayed too many prayers for heaven to suddenly ignore you now. I am already moving. I am already opening doors. I am already arranging what seemed impossible. Your answer is no longer distant. Your breakthrough is no longer delayed. Your miracle is already here, and I am sealing it over your life right now. Hold on, my child. One more night. Morning belongs to me, and I am giving it to you. My child, stop for a moment. I need your full attention right now because what is happening around you is not ordinary. This is not random. You did not arrive here by accident. I brought you here because the next few moments carry a message your soul desperately needs to hear before everything begins to change. Do not brush this aside. Do not allow distraction to steal what heaven is trying to place inside your spirit tonight. I know your mind is tired. I know your heart has been carrying more weight than anyone realizes. But listen to me carefully now, because something powerful has already started moving in the spiritual realm concerning your life. Even while you were crying in silence, even while you were questioning whether I still heard your prayers, I was already setting things into motion behind the scenes. What you cannot see yet is already unfolding. What you thought was delayed has already received my command to move. This is why I interrupted your path tonight. This is why I am speaking directly to you now. The final hours before breakthrough are always the hardest, and the enemy hoped you would give up before seeing what I prepared for you. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us, given link in description or pinned comment to show your support. My beloved child, heaven has watched every hidden tear fall from your eyes. Not one cry escaped my attention. I saw the nights you could not sleep because your thoughts would not stop attacking you. I heard the silent prayers you whispered into the darkness when you felt too weak to speak loudly. I know the pain you hide behind your smile. I know how many times you told others you were fine while secretly breaking inside. You tried to remain strong for everyone around you, but deep within your soul you were asking me if things would ever change. You wondered if I still saw you. You wondered if I still remembered your name. You wondered if your prayers were disappearing into silence. But my child, I was there during every moment. I was there when anxiety wrapped itself around your chest late at night. I was there when fear made your future look hopeless. I was there when disappointment made you question your worth. I never walked away from you. Not once. I need you to understand something very important tonight. The pressure you have been feeling is not proof that I abandoned you. It is proof that something is shifting. There is movement happening around your life that you cannot fully see yet. That enemy does not attack empty people. Darkness fights hardest against those carrying a future filled with purpose, breakthrough, and blessing. That is why this season felt heavier than anything before it. The enemy wanted your exhaustion to silence your faith. He wanted your disappointment to convince you that nothing would ever change. He wanted your tears to become permanent. But I did not allow your story to end there. I kept breathing strength into you even when you felt too weak to keep moving. I carried you through nights you thought would destroy you. I protected your mind when fear tried to consume you completely. You survived because my hand never left your life. Do not skip this message, my child. I say this with urgency because what I am speaking over you tonight is preparation for what is already approaching your door. You asked me for a sign. You begged me for confirmation. You cried out for proof that heaven still remembered you. This is your confirmation. This message is your sign. I know you are exhausted. I know waiting has worn your spirit down. I know there were moments recently when you almost stopped praying because disappointment became too painful. But the final hours before a breakthrough often feel like the darkest. This is the moment when many people walk away because they mistake silence for abandonment. They think delay means rejection. They allow fear to convince them that nothing good is coming anymore. But my child, do not make that mistake now. You are closer than you realize. The answer you prayed for is already moving toward you. Tonight is not ordinary. There is urgency in the spiritual realm surrounding your life right now. Chains are beginning to break. Doors are beginning to open. Battles you cried over are already shifting in your favor. While you were sitting there wondering if anything was happening, heaven was already responding to prayers you thought went unheard. Angels are moving on assignments connected to your breakthrough. Situations are rearranging themselves according to my timing. What seemed frozen is beginning to move again. What looked impossible is beginning to change direction. I need you to hold on to me during these final moments, because the pressure before breakthrough is always intense. The enemy attacks hardest right before he loses access to your peace. That heaviness you have been feeling lately is not the end of your story. It is the sign that something is about to break open in your favor. My child, I know there were nights when you cried so quietly because you did not want anyone else to hear you breaking. I know there were moments when your own thoughts became your greatest battle. I know how tired you are from carrying emotional pain nobody else fully understands. You have been fighting silent battles while still trying to function every day. You kept showing up even when your heart felt shattered. You kept moving even when your spirit felt drained. And even though you felt weak, you continued surviving. Do you know why? Because I was sustaining you every moment. There were times you should have collapsed under the pressure, but my hand held you together. There were moments you wanted to give up completely, but I would not allow darkness to steal your future. You keep thinking you are waiting on me, but I tell you tonight that heaven has already started moving toward you. Your miracle is not sleeping. Your answer is not forgotten. Your breakthrough is not dead. Even now, while you listen to my voice speaking into your spirit, things are shifting that you cannot yet see with natural eyes. Conversations are happening. Doors are unlocking. Delayed opportunities are beginning to awaken again. What you thought was over is being touched by my power tonight. And this is why I needed you to stop and listen carefully. Because your heart was becoming tired from waiting. You were beginning to lose expectation. You were starting to believe that maybe nothing would ever change. But I refuse to let hopelessness steal this moment from you. Listen closely, my beloved child. The enemy wanted you distracted tonight. He wanted you scrolling past this message. He wanted your mind filled with fear instead of faith. Because darkness knows something is changing around you. The enemy sees movement before many people do. He recognizes when heaven begins arranging breakthrough for someone he tried to destroy. That is why the attacks increased recently. That is why your thoughts became heavier. That is why discouragement suddenly grew stronger. Darkness was trying to make you quit before the miracle arrived. But I brought you here tonight because I will not allow fear to have the final word over your life. I need you to quiet the noise around you and hear my voice clearly now. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not cursed. You are not fighting alone. I know people disappointed you. I know some walk away when you needed them most. I know betrayal wounded your heart deeply. I know unanswered prayers tested your faith. But none of those things change my plans for your life. I am still writing your story. I am still opening doors nobody can close. I am still healing wounds others cannot see. And I am still preparing a future greater than the pain you survived. Something is happening right now, my child. Can you feel it? There is a stirring deep within your spirit because my presence is drawing near to you in a special way tonight. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing. I arranged this exact moment because your heart needed strength before the breakthrough fully arrives. I needed to remind you not to quit now. I needed to remind you that your tears were never wasted. I needed to remind you that every sleepless night, every painful prayer, every moment of silent suffering was seen by heaven. Nothing about your pain was ignored. Nothing about your struggle was invisible to me. So hold on a little longer, my beloved child. Do not surrender to fear during these final moments. Do not allow exhaustion to convince you that your story ends in disappointment. Morning is closer than you think. The breakthrough you prayed for is already breathing. The miracle you begged me for is already moving toward your life. I am sealing something over you tonight that darkness cannot stop. I am restoring hope to the places where despair tried to live. I am strengthening your spirit for the next chapter I prepared for you. And when the morning finally arrives, you will understand why I kept telling you to hold on through the night. Stay with me now. Do not turn away from this moment, because what happens next will change everything. My beloved child, come closer to me for a moment and let your heart rest in my voice. I know you are tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep can fix, but the kind that settles deep inside the soul after carrying pain for too long. I know how heavy your thoughts have become. I know how many nights you laid awake staring into darkness while your mind refused to be still. I know the pressure you feel every morning when you wake up and wonder how you will survive another day carrying emotions nobody else fully understands. You tried to hide it from people. You learned how to smile while your spirit quietly broke apart inside. But I saw it all. I saw the moments when your heart became exhausted from pretending to be strong. I saw you sitting alone, replaying painful memories in your mind, wondering why life became so heavy. I saw the tears you wiped away quickly because you did not want anyone asking questions you did not know how to answer. I saw the fear behind your silence. I saw the loneliness that followed you even when you were surrounded by people. And my child, I need you to know tonight that none of your suffering has been invisible to me. I saw it all. Type you are my healer and redeemer if his touch transformed your life. I saw the betrayal that wounded your heart more deeply than words could explain. I saw how much trust you gave to people who later became the source of your pain. I watched you love sincerely only to feel abandoned when you needed support the most. I know how badly it hurt when people you prayed for, sacrificed for, and cared about walked away as if your heart meant nothing. I know there were nights when you questioned your worth because of how badly others treated you. You kept asking yourself what you did wrong. You wondered why people changed so suddenly. You replayed conversations over and over inside your mind trying to understand how love became distant so quickly. But my child, I saw it all. I saw every silent heartbreak you carried into your nights. I saw the disappointment hidden behind your eyes when prayers seemed unanswered month after month. I saw you hoping things would change while secretly fearing nothing ever would. I saw the emotional exhaustion that built slowly inside you until even simple things started feeling heavy. There were mornings when getting out of bed felt like a battle. There were moments when your spirit felt so drained that even praying became difficult. You wanted to speak to me, but pain made your words disappear. And still, even during your silence, I stayed close beside you. I saw you all. My child, I know the fear you carry about your future. I know how many times anxiety attacked your mind late at night. I know the pressure you feel when you think about finances, responsibilities, and problems that seem bigger than your strength. I saw you staring at bills, wondering how things would work out. I saw the stress tightening your chest while you tried to figure everything out alone. I know there were moments when fear convinced you that you were running out of time, running out of options, and running out of strength. But even then, when your thoughts became overwhelmed by uncertainty, I was still watching over you. I saw it all. I saw the hidden panic attacks nobody else knew about. I saw the moments when your breathing changed because your mind became filled with fear you could not explain. I saw how hard you tried to stay calm while internally everything felt like it was falling apart. I saw you trying to appear okay for others while secretly begging for relief inside your soul. I know you became exhausted from carrying burdens you never talked about openly. You felt like nobody truly understood the battle happening inside your mind. But my child, I understood every moment of it. I saw it all. I saw how loneliness wrapped around your life in ways people could not recognize. I know there were times you felt emotionally disconnected from everyone around you. You laughed with people while secretly feeling alone inside. You wanted someone to notice your pain without you having to explain it. You wanted someone to stay. You wanted someone to understand the version of you that struggled silently when nobody was watching. And even though human hands failed to hold your heart carefully, my hands never stopped holding you. I saw it all. I saw the nights when disappointment made you question if your prayers even mattered anymore. I heard every whisper where you asked me if I still cared. I heard every quiet cry where you wondered why heaven felt silent for so long. My child, I know the pain of waiting has changed you. Delayed answers exhausted your faith. Repeated heartbreak made hope feel dangerous. Every closed door slowly convinced you to expect disappointment before blessing. But listen carefully to me now. Your waiting never meant I abandoned you. Your tears never meant I stopped listening. Your silence never meant I stopped loving you. I saw it all. I saw you trying to stay strong for everyone else while secretly falling apart yourself. You became the person others leaned on while nobody noticed how badly you needed support too. You carried responsibilities while your own heart was begging for rest. You comforted others while silently wishing someone would comfort you. And because you learned how to hide pain so well, many people assumed you were stronger than you truly felt. But I saw beneath every mask you wore. I saw the exhaustion hidden behind your smile. I saw the heaviness hidden behind your silence. I saw it all. My child, I also saw the moments when you nearly gave up completely. I saw the nights when hopelessness whispered that nothing would ever change. I saw the dangerous thoughts trying to convince you that your future was empty. I saw you reaching emotional limits you never thought you would face. And still, even there, I stayed beside you. Even when your faith became weak, mine remained strong over your life. Even when you struggled to hold on to hope, I refused to let go of you. That is why you survived seasons that should have destroyed you. That is why your heart still beats with purpose tonight. because my hand remained over your life every single moment. I saw you all. I saw the hidden wounds from your past that still affect you today. I know there are memories you rarely speak about because they still hurt too deeply. I know certain words, certain places, and certain reminders still reopen emotional scars you thought healed long ago. I know betrayal changed the way you trust. I know disappointment changed the way you hope. I know heartbreak changed the way you love. But my child, those wounds never pushed me away from you. In fact, I moved even closer during your pain. I sat beside you in every broken moment. I saw it all. I saw the pressure you placed on yourself to keep going even when your spirit was exhausted. I saw you trying to solve problems that felt impossible. I saw you overthinking every situation because fear convinced you something bad was always about to happen. I saw the emotional weight you carried in silence because you did not want to become a burden to others. But you were never a burden to me. Your tears never annoyed me. Your questions never pushed me away. Your weakness never made me ashamed of you. I stayed through every moment because you are my child, and I love you more deeply than you realize. Listen carefully to me now, because I need this truth to settle inside your heart tonight. You were never suffering alone. Even when nobody called. Even when people misunderstood you. Even when support disappeared. Even when your prayers seemed unanswered. Even when fear sat heavily on your chest in the middle of the night. I remained there beside you through it all. I collected every tear. I listened to every silent cry. I watched every painful moment. I saw it all. And my beloved child, because I saw it all, I also know exactly how to heal what has been hurting inside you for so long. I know where your heart became wounded. I know where your trust became damaged. I know where fear entered your thoughts. I know where disappointment weakened your hope. Nothing about your pain is hidden from me, and nothing about your future is hopeless in my hands. You are not forgotten tonight. You are not invisible to heaven. You are not abandoned in your suffering. You are deeply seen, deeply known, and deeply loved by me. I chose this moment to remind you because your heart needed to hear my voice again before the breakthrough fully arrives. I needed you to remember that every hidden battle mattered to me. Every sleepless night mattered to me. Every unanswered question mattered to me. Every tear mattered to me. I saw it all, my child, and I never stopped loving you through any of it. My beloved child, I know you feel like you are reaching your breaking point. I know there were moments recently when you sat in silence wondering how much more your heart could endure. You have carried disappointment for so long that exhaustion now feels normal to you. You have walked through so many closed doors that rejection began to shape the way you see your future. You have stood in the middle of storms so fierce that part of you secretly wondered if I had forgotten where to find you. But listen to me carefully tonight, because what feels like destruction is actually preparation. What feels like the end is the beginning of a transformation you cannot yet fully understand. I did not bring you into this wilderness to abandon you there. I brought you into it because there are things that can only grow in hidden places. My child, every painful season carried purpose even when you could not see it. Every delay was shaping something inside you that comfort could never produce. Every closed door protected you from paths that would have destroyed the destiny I prepared for you. I know you cried when opportunities disappeared. I know you begged me for answers when prayer seemed delayed month after month. I know there were nights when silence hurt more than the actual problem because you kept asking me why nothing was changing. But while you thought heaven was silent, I was working deeper than you realized. Seeds grow beneath the soil long before they break through the surface. Storm clouds gather before the rain finally falls. Dawn prepares itself quietly while the world still sits in darkness. And in the same way, I have been preparing your breakthrough during the very seasons you believed nothing was happening. You keep looking at your life and seeing loss, delay, and confusion. But I look at your life and see strength being formed inside your spirit. I see endurance being built through suffering. I see wisdom growing through heartbreak. I see faith being purified through waiting. My child, I never wasted your pain. Every tear watered the ground where your future breakthrough is about to rise. Every lonely night deepened your dependence on me. Every disappointment pulled you away from places that were too small for your calling. You thought you were being buried, but I was planting you. You thought everything was ending, but I was preparing new life beneath the surface where human eyes could not see. I know the wilderness season has felt endless to you. I know there were days when your prayers sounded weak because disappointment drained your strength. I know there were mornings when you woke up already emotionally tired because the weight of uncertainty followed you into every new day. You wondered why life suddenly became so difficult. You wondered why people walked away. You wondered why doors kept closing no matter how hard you prayed. But my beloved child, wilderness seasons are not places of abandonment. They are places of transformation. It was in the wilderness that I taught my people dependence. It was in lonely places that prophets heard my voice most clearly. It was in dark valleys that hidden strength was formed. And it is in this painful season that I have been preparing you for the weight of the blessing that is coming. You could not carry your future breakthrough with the old version of yourself. There were things inside you that needed refining. There were fears that needed breaking. There were unhealthy attachments that needed to fall away. There were wounds that needed healing before you could step into what I prepared for you. I know the process hurt deeply. I know losing certain people shattered your heart. I know delayed prayers tested your faith almost beyond what you thought you could survive. But if I had released everything too early, it would have crushed you instead of blessed you. So I use the silence to strengthen you. I use the waiting to mature you. I use the storms to teach your spirit how to stand firm even when everything around you shook violently. My child, do you remember the nights when it felt like you were drowning emotionally? Do you remember how fear whispered that things would never improve? Do you remember how loneliness wrapped itself around your heart while you begged me for relief? I was there through every dark night. I stood beside you while tears soaked your pillow. I listened to every silent cry that nobody else heard. I watched you walk through emotional storms that seemed determined to destroy your peace completely. But storms do not last forever. Even the fiercest winds eventually lose their power. Even the darkest night eventually bows before morning. And your storm is no different. What you survived did not come to destroy you forever. It came to prepare you for a greater season than the one you left behind. The enemy wanted you to believe that your breaking point meant failure. Darkness wanted you convinced that suffering meant I abandoned you. But hear me clearly tonight. I never left you in the silence. I was closest to you during the moments when you felt most alone. I was strengthening your spirit while you thought you were falling apart. I was carrying you through battles you did not even realize were happening in the spiritual realm. There were attacks aimed at your future that you never saw because my hand blocked them before they reached you. There were dangers surrounding your path that I protected you from while you questioned why certain doors remained closed. My silence was never absence. My delay was never rejection. I was working in hidden places where your natural eyes could not yet follow. My beloved child, storms reveal what comfort hides. When everything around you shakes, you discover what your soul is truly anchored to. And this painful season revealed that your strength could not come from people, money, relationships, or circumstances alone. It had to come from me. I allowed certain supports to fall away because I needed you to discover that I was still enough even in the middle of loss. I know it hurt when people disappointed you. I know it hurt watching prayers remain unanswered longer than expected. But I needed your roots to grow deeper than temporary comfort. Trees planted beside peaceful waters rarely develop strong roots. But trees that survive violent storms learn how to stand with strength that cannot easily be broken. And my child, you are becoming stronger than you realize. Say you open paths no one can close when you've seen His power. And share this video